So good afternoon, all of you. In our institute, we have 5 major research programs under which we are doing all our work. I am from Advanced Material Science group, these groups, and I will say something about our group. We do research to develop different type of sensing materials to sense different type of analytes. We also have nanomaterial. We have a very strong nanomaterial nanotechnology group who has done number of things. We have developed number of materials. We have organic and polymer thin film developed in our institute, in our laboratory, and we do material modeling and simulation, as well as we have also developed few organic electronic materials. Now, to start about the advanced material, what is advanced material? So, perhaps you know that in our old days, we have that bullock cart or horse cart where the wheel are used of wood and irons, is not? But with the advancement of the material, we have developed wheel which is made up of steel and polymer. Polymer is rubber is one type of polymer. So so how it helped with this advance of material? It becomes more lighter as well as capable of taking more load. You also see in the recent future, in the end of 2000, you will find the cars who has all the materials, outside body materials are made up of steel. So these bumpers are made of steel. But if you find the new generation cars, they have all body, outer body, that means bumper, all made up of polymers. These are the advanced material, that is material advancement. So from this perspective, I can say the advanced material refer to the new materials and modification to existing materials, and to obtain superior performance in one or more characteristics that are critical for the application under consideration. They can also exhibit completely novel properties. Now, in advanced material science, these are the 6 major classes of material which we deal mainly. That is metal, ceramics, polymer, composite, semiconductors, and biomaterials. And of course, in advanced material, because we are dealing with the materials, we must study the properties of the materials. So to do that, we do study the mechanical properties, that is stiffness, strength, ductility, hardness, etc., as well as for the physical properties, sometimes we have to check the density, electrical conductivity, and thermal conductivity, etc. Then we have to study the chemical properties, whether it is a corrosive, its corrosion to resistance in various environment, all like that. And finally, also manufacturing property, the formality or machinability, how they can be ease of joining, etc. And as you tell you that our advanced material group, we have done we have developed a lot of materials. A few of them are good sensors. So, before telling something about sensor, we must know what is a sensor. So, you know, sensor is a material which can sense a physical quantity and give you a measurable output. So, measurable output, it may be a light output, it may be a voltage, whatever may be. So, and I think with the help of modern devices, in your mobile also, smart mobile, you have number of sensors. You will find some of the sensors in your mobile also. So these are the different type of sensor. You see accelerator sensor, proximity sensor, IR sensor, gas sensor. Gas sensor means a different type of gas can be sensed with the help of a different type of sensors. And we do on this field actually gas sensors. And you see your thermometer is also a sensor. So it senses the temperature of your, if you see for a clinical thermometer, you sense the temperature of your body. It will give you if it is not digital, you will simply the mercury level, you will see that there is marking and you can understand what is the temperature of the body. So this is also a sensor. I'm giving a output which is, you can read the output. In our bodies, there is also a lot of sensors which we find naturally. Your body, a good sensor is a tongue. You can sense different type of materials, different things with the help of tongue. So let me do something on our sensors which we have made, and to evaluate the value to find the work of the sensor, we have to take some common processes, and these may be pHmetry, ratiometry, surface plasmon resonance, calorimetry, fluorescence property, impedance spectroscopy, amperometry, voltammetry, or even some more, along with other characterization instruments like FTIR, mass spectroscopy, DSC, TGA. All these things instruments are required to find the properties of the material which we develop. And to evaluate how it works as a sensor, we use generally these are the process. So say something about fluorescence property. So you have given a light and you study the fluorescence property, how it reacts with that light. So similarly, impedance spectroscopy, with the presence of analyte, it may change its resistance. The material may change its resistance. If you measure that resistance, you can calculate, yes, it is there, due to these analytes, it is giving the change of resistance or current value. So let me say something about explosive sensor, because we have developed number of explosive sensors in our laboratory, and you will find that in this most of the explosive, the basic group is nitro group. If you see from TNT, RDX to even PTN to nitroglycerins, all they have nitro group, NO2 group with their molecule structure. We have worked how to detect this nitro group. To do this, we have developed materials, and that material we put in between two maybe stainless steel ships or maybe stainless steel plate. But with the help of those, we have developed these. This is the sensor. We connect it with our impedance analyzer. Impedance analyzer senses the change of its resistance or impedance. The difference between its resistance is simply that resistance is DC with no polarity is calculated. However, on the other hand, impedance is a alternative charge, that is, it's positive, impedance is changing. That means that's why resistance is a property of a material which resists the flow of current, whereas impedance is impede because it is not a continuous voltage, it is alternating voltage. We developed the device, this detector device, and finally we put into the environment of nitrobenzene, and in the process we will find that it is giving some data. These are the data where we find that in the presence of the analytes, in this case is nitroaromatic compounds, the impedance changes. So this is the technology, and you will find that in presence of the picric acid. Why you have taken picric acid? Because it has, do you know what is the difference between TNT, trinitrotoluene, and picric acid? TNT is trinitrotoluene. So CH3 group is benzene with CH3 group is your toluene. So if you add 3 nitro group, then it become your toluene, and that become your trinitrotoluene. That is TNT is a explosive and is widely used Second World War. In case, where is picric acid? The difference it is, picric acid is thing is that picric acid is very much available in our laboratory, and the difference between is picric acid and TNT is the only CH3 group. Instead of that CH3 group, here it is OH. So it is a trinitrophenol. You know, benzene group with OH group is a phenol, is not? So with 3 nitro group, it will become trinitrophenol, that is picric acid. So we use picric acid here as an analyte. Then we sense its vapor, whether it can able to sense the presence of this trinitrophenol or not. And we find that this is we have developed the circuit also, and we find that after sometimes it gives flickering. Then when it absorbs the analyte, it starts flickering. So this indicate is become a sensor. I will show you. So you see, this is a picric acid, this flux containing picric acid, and when we put our sensor into that, it show in the presence of that analyte, in presence of that picric acid vapor, it starts, this sensor gives sensing that these contain, it is nearby with this sensor, there is a picric acid, or that means explosive. So this is one type of explosive sensors. We also developed few gels in our advanced material laboratory. So gels, you know, gels may be of hydrogels and organogels, and these gels are useful for absorbing large amount. It is find its use in baby's diaper. it absorbs large amount of water. Those are actually hydrogels. We developed organogels, and you will find that this use of organogels for the treatment of split oils, industrial absorbent, and water purification. And of course, the hydrogel, these have others use, that is absorbents for medical use, drug delivery, soil condition as biosensors. So here I want to show how these gels can be used to absorb oil. So this is the experiment where we use kerosene and the water mixture in this one beaker and put our dry gel into this. You will find that after some time it will absorb all kerosene from this kerosene water mixture, and in the process you will find that pure water left behind. So this is the process by which you can clear your environment. You know, sometimes big oil spillage happens in oceans also. So this type of gels find their application in those. We also developed different type of other polymers for sensing different analytes like ammonia vapor as well as sulfur dioxide also. And we, in our laboratory, have developed sensors which can useful for detection amino acid, organic and inorganic sulfur to test the quality of the milk, to mercury, sensing of the mercury, and P2VP, which is a carcinogenic polymer widely used in the laboratory. And we have developed sensors for few biological active molecules like cholesterol, hemine, ascorbic acid, DNA, and folic acid. Now, these are the little bit about the sensor. It is not covers all the sensors which we have developed in our laboratory, a part of them. And along with this, we want to discuss about because our group is very active with nanoparticles, the development of nanomaterials. So I want to give an introduction of the nanoscience and nanotechnology, which work is going on in our advanced material group. So what is nanotechnology? That is the nanotechnology where we scientists have the ability to work in the typical range of 10 to the power minus 9 to 10 to the power minus 7 meter. So what is that? That is 1 to 100 nanometer. So I think all of you know one more measuring unit, that is Armstrong unit, is not? What is Armstrong unit? It is 10 to the power minus 10 meter. Hydrogen-carbon bond distance is 1.09 Armstrong. So that is 10 to the power 10. So 1 Armstrong is equal to 10 nanometer. Now, if you compare these sizes, you see this thing is just like Nador Bhekulinisna. How ocean is how big? It is similar to that. It is just reverse. Nano is how small. If you compare this thing size, the average width of a human hair is on the order of 1 lakh nanometers. So I have not much hair, but those hairs are wide is 1 lakh nanometers. And a simple particle smoke in the order of 1,000 nanometers. And this is a simple idea on the length scale. We have, 1 meter is, I can say 1 into 10 to the power 0. If you go on decreasing the thickness, that is decimeter, it comes 0.1 meter. Similarly, centimeter and millimeter is 10 to the power minus 3. Then comes micrometer. So up to this, we can measure. Even millimeter, this much is 1 millimeter. Then micrometer, we can measure that thing with your ordinary eyes. That is 10 to the power minus 6. And nano is below that. That is 10 to the power minus 9. Pico is 10 to the power 12. And femto is 10 to the power minus 15. And this is the scale of the things. You see, this is 1 centimeter to 10 millimeter. These things are natural. Naturally, we find these ants. These are in this range. Whereas things, man-made things, that is pinhead, which is the range is 1.2 millimeter. Then comes this little bit bigger. Here is fly ash. In the man-made, we have the microelectronic mechanical. This is watch all the gear and things in our watch is in the range of 10 to the power 100 micrometer. If you go on decreasing the size, we will find that in things which are naturally found, the blood cells within our cells, and to ultimately you will find it is in nanometer range, that is DNA. DNA, our directors are just now talk about the DNA, so these DNAs are in nanometer range. Whereas in man-made portion, if you find that some self-assembled nature inspired structure may be obtained to the power tens of nanometer, then nanotube electrodes and carbon nanotubes which are in the range of 1 to 10 nanometer. Why nano is different? Why people are doing research on nano? It is totally different from the bulk material. If you know that what is the color of gold, it is well known, gold color is yellow. But if you go for nano gold, its color depends on the size, is nano range size. It may start from red to blue. So you see how beautiful it is. With our naked eye, we cannot see nanoparticles, so we have to use special type of instrument, not even ordinary microscope. This can be used to see the micro level. Those bacteria can be seen with this microscope. So we need special type of microscope. Those are same scanning electron microscope, this one, and also tunneling electron microscope. We have working on different type of nanomaterial with the use of nanomaterial with the optical sensors, cotton patch as dressing material, as well as conducting fabrics. We have used this thing as water purification and also used for smart drug delivery vehicle. Our group also worked on flexible optoelectronic devices. Perhaps you know the solar cells as well as different photodiodes. So we have developed in our group some flexible hybrid UV photodetector, flexible hybrid UV-based photodetector. Those are useful for detection different type of lights. In our group, scientists have developed some nanotubes. Those are low pressure plasma. I think already you have get the idea of plasma. So low pressure plasma prepared carbon nanotube. So these are carbon nanostructure prepared in atmospheric plasma. We also developed some photocatalyst. What are the photocatalyst? Best example of photocatalyst, I think, the chlorophyll in the plant. They use sunlight to catalyze a reaction so that water and carbon dioxide ultimately give the glucose. So here also this property, the photocatalyst, they can be used to perform some chemical reaction when sunlight falls upon them, and this way we can purify water also, because when these catalysts are as such, when they find sun ray, they will do some work in such a way they will absorb all the pollutant or even organic compounds from the water, and the process they reduce the toxicity of the water. And another important field of this photocatalyst is that this can also be used to break water molecule, so that water can be break into hydrogen and oxygen, and this process, you know, water and hydrogen and oxygen, they are useful for generating energy. So instead of coal energy is going to extinct now, we can use this hydrogen. If you develop this photocatalyst widely, this can be used to drive cars. We can produce electricity with the help of this. So these are some other works. We also works, as I told you, on material modeling and simulation. You may not understand a detail of that. I just give the idea that this is actually computer simulating work. In the work, it is assumed that some materials are as such that even if a car faces an accident, its body deshapes. But if the material of the body, if it has a memory, then again it regains to its original shape. And also, if there is a scratch, it may regain it. Just like in our body, if there is a scratch, after times it gradually, it overcomes the scratch. So this type of material we are actually working on it. So with this, I'm going to thanks to you. If you have any question, you can ask me.